If you are serious about what protein you use, then use what Jersey Jay-Z uses. Equip Foods Protein. Order yours now at equipfoods.com and use the promo code JerseyJZ for a special discount.
Live. I'm Joe Zapata here at the Joe Zapata and Gregg Valentino show. And there's the rambling freak himself, Gregg Valentino. What's up, my man?
With blue sweater. Got it going on, brother. Same color, different.
How you doing, brother?
Good. Can't complain. Same bullshit.
Same bullshit, everything.
Yeah, you know the story.
Same thing. Everyone, if you can go to equipfoods.com and use promo code JerseyJZ, get 15% off your order. You know, great protein. I use it all the time. It's called Equip Protein. It's really great stuff. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat really quick. Greg Hoffman. He says, hey, Joe and Greg. John wants a Pinocchio party for his 69th birthday. I don't know what's going on. Rick Simon says, is this the John Romano gay episode? It's the John Romano gay episode. I don't know what happened with that. What happened on the after hours? Anything with that? Bringing up stuff like that, I guess. I don't know.
John's not gay.
Yeah, exactly. So Rick Simon, how you doing? John Mancini, what's going on, John?
What's going on, John?
The dude, let's go, Momos.
Let's go, dude.
Nico Petrillo says, are you ready, Momos? Yes, we are ready.
We are ready to rock and roll, brothers.
All right. So Greg, I had a little situation happen to me, and I want your opinion. And everyone in the chat, Steve Z, John Mancini.
Oh, Steve.
Listen, what's going on, Steve Z?
My boy, Steve.
I need your guys' opinion if I did anything wrong. So I'm going to bring up the story and tell me if I did anything wrong. All right, Greg? Yeah. All right. So here I go. So on February 2nd, a couple weeks ago, a family relative, posted on Instagram that she was having a baby. Okay. All right. So you got that. So I saw, obviously a family member, I saw it, said, oh, wow, whatever. I told to, Morella and everyone, I said, hey, did you know so-and-so is having a baby? She said, no. So she said, congrats and everything, whatever on the Instagram. I hearted it on Instagram. So, whatever, congrats. The next day, we were visiting a family member who was in a nursing home, and we went to go see her. And I had mentioned to the person in the nursing home, I said, congratulations, you're going to be a great grandmother. She's like, oh, wow, what happened? I told her the story. Okay. Now, almost a week and a half later, the person who announced it on Instagram went to the nursing home and said, hey, I have a picture to show you. It's the sonogram. And she said, oh, I heard Joe told me you were having a child. So then she got upset. So she sends a group chat message out and says, who told Nana that I was having a baby? So obviously Merle says, well, Joe saw it on Instagram and he posted and he said congrats and he told her because whatever. And she said, well, I'm the one who should have told her. And she said, again, you posted it on Instagram. So, that's what he said. So
she shouldn't have posted on Instagram. If you wanted to be the first to tell her, you tell everybody. Once everybody then you post it on
Instagram. Correct. And everyone has said the same thing.
She's a MOMO. That's stupid shit. That's stupid shit. That's like you make an announcement to the rest of the world. But you figure, I guess, because the old lady's in a fucking nursing home and doesn't go online and it's not on Instagram. But why would you announce it to the whole world and shit and not tell the first people first? You know what I'm saying? Which, like, you should have called your grandmother, whatever, went there. And once it was done, say, now I can tell everybody.
Exactly. And then Steve Z said, you did nothing wrong. It's called mental on her part.
That's right, Steve. Steve's my boy. Steve knows.
Yep. Steve knows, exactly. James Kirkpatrick said, typical woman.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
You put it on Instagram. Yeah, you put it on Instagram, and then you fucking get mad because somebody brings it up. The whole fucking world knows. If I was the grandmother, I'd be like, you tell everybody else, you put it on fucking Instagram, and where the whole world knows. And what am I, chopped liver? What am I, chopped? You don't tell me first. I got to hear from somebody else. I got to hear from somebody else.
Exactly. At Alex LPS 33 says, Nani, that's right, Alex. Thanks for watching, my man. That's right. But yeah, that's why. So I got shit on and I did nothing wrong. And I'd be the first to apologize. I'd be the first to apologize if there's something wrong. But everyone thought I was in the right. But again, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We got here a tip from AZ. He's $10. Says, Gregg is a class act. Just because you can't trash talk about someone does not mean you need to do it. And you shouldn't have talked ill of the dead either. Gregg is the original guy. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that, AZ. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, and you never do. You never talk anything about the dead. You try not.
I don't like when people are dead. You start talking about them and shit. It's not cool.
Exactly, it's not cool at all. Holly said, "I assume after I put it on Instagram that everybody knows." Yeah, Holly. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, put yourself in the grandmother's position. I got to hear from everybody else. You put that shit out there. And you don't tell me first. Fuck you, then. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be pissed. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. My thoughts exactly. This guy, you got to be a freak.
You got to be a freak
on Instagram. The funniest shit on Instagram.
Yes, that's my boy. You got to be a freak.
Yeah.
I saw some great videos.
Nancy Guther case. What do you think? What do you think, Greg?
Listen, I know I'm no fucking sleuth, but I can tell you this: I doubt it was a burglary. If you're committing a burglary, you're not gonna bring you're gonna bring an empty backpack. You're gonna bring one that's full, right? Number one. Number two, if you're gonna do a burglary and somebody walks in on you and it's an old lady and you beat the fuck out of her or you kill her and shit, you're not gonna take her with you because that's more of a chance of you getting caught. Now you understand what I'm saying? Like now you got a body that you got to worry about and you got to bring with you. Why would you do that? They usually would just leave it in the house and get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what the hell the whole deal was with that. I'm like everybody else. You always like kind of think, is it somebody in that family? You know, is there somebody who, has got sore feelings or maybe intended, people will kill their own mother just to make money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not saying it's her daughters or anything, but, who drove her home? You know what I'm saying? They still can't tell whether the daughter drove her home or the daughter's husband drove her home. But either way, you don't walk her in. She's an old lady. What is she doing? The other thing is, what is an 86-year-old woman who can't walk well, has all these health problems, heart issues, and all that shit? What's she doing living in a 6,000 to 8,000 square foot house in the middle of nowhere with a swimming pool?
Yeah.
Who's swimming in that swimming pool? The fucking woman can't walk. She's got a pacemaker. Okay, she's got bleeding problem. That nothing makes sense. Who leaves her alone? What fucking old lady's gonna live in a house that's bigger for a giant family? Who's gonna swim in that pool? The grandkids? They don't even go see. She lives far away from some of them. And number two, they have their own pool. They can swim there. Nobody's coming to that. That's a fucking strange thing. That whole situation is odd. There's something doesn't smell right. You understand?
No. You know what bothers me too? Yeah. That there's a 15-year-old black girl named Leah Friedman who's missing, by the way, in Georgia. She's missing. And I don't know how long, a couple days or whatever, a few days.
And I never heard of her.
Yeah. And it's not big news. And she can't, I guess their family is like saying that they can't even get like any search going on the ground by the police, I guess. Meanwhile, we got 150 helicopters and all the bloodhounds in the world looking for this Nancy Guthrie.
And you know what's funny? If you ever saw her daughter, is not even a nice woman, to be honest with you. She's a nasty fucker. And she's the one who attacked Donald Trump and was like, you're lying. She interviewed, go online, you'll see the whole thing. When Trump was running for president, she's super anti-Trump. Meanwhile, Trump's the one who's telling people you got to find her. He even said, if we find out who did this, we're going to give him the death penalty. All this other shit. So now she's probably like, but regardless, the bottom line is, here's the point I'm going to make. If it's not the family, okay, and I'm not saying it is, but something smells here. It could be a grandkid or somebody who wants inheritance, but it also could be you live in a 6,000 to 8,000 square foot house, a mansion. You're by yourself. Who's cleaning the bathrooms? Who's cleaning your housemates, right? Who's taking care of that swimming pool in the back, doing the pH on the water, skimming it every day? You got
Somebody's
pool
doing that.
people. Who's fucking doing the lawn and the maintenance? You got gardens. You got all these like fucking bushes and shrubbery and all this other shit, flowers, flower plant pots, all this shit. Who's fucking taking care of that? The 86-year-old woman who can't walk well? No. So you know what that means? You got some fucking guy that's like, hey man, the fucking old lady, she lived by herself. I know that house by the back of my hand. And you don't know. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know. The house you're working at, just like if they say, oh, we want proof of life. Well, there's she has I'll tell you proof of life. She's saying that she has a coffee can with like fucking $10 in it on the third shelf on the top. And that doesn't mean that's proof of life. And, that means the fucking housemaid, they know every inch of that house.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And TMZ is always getting these letters. TMZ is always getting these letters all the time.
Yeah, you would send it right to the fucking, you would send it to the family. I want you, and first of all, let me tell you something. Listen, let me sum this shit up like this. Her fucking daughter is worth millions, okay? I don't remember how many, I don't know if they said she's got 20 million, whatever. Take a couple of those $1 million, put it out there as cash, and say, whoever gets this, gives us information that leads to the arrest, gets this cash. It's $1 million. No tax. I'll pay the tax. No tax. Yeah. It's a gift right here. This $1 million. You know what I mean? What are you offering? Fucking somebody's offering $100,000 now. It's up to. And I'm like, really? For $100,000 for somebody like you're worth millions? Something's wrong. Something's wrong somewhere. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Do you remember the John Benet Ramsey case?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I saw the father was on a recent interview too, talking about the story, because they still haven't solved that case either, and he said that there's a, someone who looks at people's DNA, a genealogist or something. He says that he can actually find out, because it's a new technology that he can find out through some DNA that they have at the scene. They can find out and trace people's genes, who was the closest one in that area that has the same genes. So it's a little bit expensive, but they said they have the technology now that they can find more, but no one's willing to move the case along, they said, because it's been so long.
Because that's something weird too. Nobody broke into the house. Nobody broke out. The girl was dead downstairs. There was some sort of letter or something really bad in that house.
Yeah, I don't know.
To me, that's somebody that lived in that house. I still think it's mother, father.
I don't think the father did it. Could have been the mother.
I don't know. There was also a brother involved. I don't know. But shit don't add up. Look, why if Nancy Guthrie, no, what's the other one? Samantha Guthrie or whatever. Please get my mom back. We miss you. We know you're really. I would have fucking said, here's the fucking pile of money, right? Look at this is yours. This is yours. Now, the fucking stupidest fucking thing is the guy who keeps going to TMZ says, I know who it is that's doing it. I know who they are, and I can give you the leader, but I won't go public about it. Why? It's a ransom. Here's a ransom. You'll get this ransom money. And he's like, well, no, then you know what he said? I don't want to be seen as a rat.
Oh,
dude,
God. Come on.
To me. You gave me $1 million, you could call me a rat, fucking whatever you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? I could give two shits. I'd be sitting there counting my fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah, rat one, rat two, rat two.
Right. I'll buy a lot of cheese to eat. But the thing is, you can't tell me if you throw $1 million cash out there, somebody doesn't go, you know what I mean? No questions answered. No asked rather. You just take the $1 million. It's yours. It's fucking yours. You don't get arrested. You don't have to answer it. It just has to, that you have to give us the information leading to your arrest. I guarantee there's somebody out there, a girl, a guy who's, knows the guy who did it or, what's going on. They know the real truth.
Exactly.
And nobody did that by himself. How are you going to get that fucking old lady? She's like dude, go lift a 50-pound bag of fucking like potatoes or something. It's fucking heavy. You try to drag a body out of here. And, let me guess, she walked herself. Did she walk herself? What did you do? Did you strap her in the fucking car too? There's just too much that doesn't make sense here.
Doesn't make sense. Yep.
It's not, the guy wasn't alone. I can tell you that. What did you do? Walk in? First of all, you don't see the car he came in, right? So what did that mean? He walked the old lady down the street. Look at the stars. Nancy, check those stars out, huh? Oh, wait, you bleed. Yeah, here, you want a tissue? You bleed. Get the fuck out of here.
No one checks, and no one was checking in on her. She was there by herself, living in this big
Dude,
mansion.
and you know what? I'm sorry, but
come on.
The cops and the people are momos, bro. They're all fucking momos. You know what I hate? First of all, anytime a Democrat die or there's a Democrat fucking thing, you have to have somebody staying there doing all the sign language. Meanwhile, there's closed caption. People who are fucking deaf have closed. I have closed caption. Okay, so when I'm fucking, sometimes there's fucking speaking a different language in a movie, I'll throw in. I can't watch a whole movie like that. But if they say so, there's closed caption, so you don't need somebody sitting there doing this with those stupid facial expressions like this. Second of all, I'm tired of guy getting up. Yes, I'd like to thank the first responders, the commissioner, the chief, the FBI, and they're all standing there, thanking for what? What are you thanking them for? That's their job. I want to thank you for doing your job. I want to thank you for doing your job. Meanwhile, they all fucked it all up too. They love it. It's like George Carlin said, you love a good disaster. You know what I mean? He always used to say, that's the fire that comes down in the Hollywood Hills and it burns down all the houses, right? And you know what they do? They rebuild the houses in the same spot. And then what happens? A couple of years later, that fire comes right back and takes the house. And some of those people that had their houses burned down, that's the third time this has happened to me. Well, how about fucking moving? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's like the people with the tsunami. He said, George Carlin says, the tsunami comes in, wipes out that whole fucking. And what do? They rebuild in the same spot. And then what happens? A couple of years later, another tsunami comes in. You know what I mean? How about building a different? He said, I love what George Carlin says. I root for that fire. He goes, that's my fire. I root. And I know what he means, because sometimes you're almost like I look at you fucks with the disaster. The Democrats blame the Republicans blame Democrats. Everybody wants to thank you. I'd like to thank the firemen that came out. I'd like to thank the first responder police officers that came out. I'd like to thank the mayor. The mayor wants to thank the police commissioner. Get the fuck out of here. We thanking each other. For what? Stop holding press conference and do your fucking job.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's crazy. Steve Z says, I'm willing to carry Gregg's baby. Rocco says, if Gregg Valentino was my son, I'd be proud. Greg Hoffman says, he should name the kid Joe and Greg. Yeah. What happened? She should name the kid Joe and Greg, talking about the person who posted on social media. Ruben Sanchez said, if it isn't on social media, it isn't true. It's not true. That's right. That's right. Let's see. The thoughts on Mandini pricing in the middle of class more. Oh, yeah, that guy, New York mayor. Oh, Mandani. Oh, my God. That's fucking guy. What do you think about that, Greg?
He's a fucking jackoff. You know what's going to happen? He's going to ruin the city. He's going to bankrupt the whole city. Already, he's asking for more money from what's her name, Kathy Hochul, who's a piece of shit, too. And she's like, dude, I'm not giving you more money. You're going to, he's been it's been 1 month. 1 month since he's been in, and he's already caused people to die. Did you see the fucking they have the free grocery store for people? First of all, I got all these savages.
Have you seen the line for that? Have you seen the line for that?
Yeah, the line. First, you go wait down, and you know what you get in it? You know what you get?
If you're not there by 6 in the morning, you ain't gonna get anything.
Joe, you get banana. It's a fucking food pantry. It's the same shit. Bananas, apples, mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get. You ain't getting excuse me, do you have the lactate milk? I'm lactose intolerant. I'd like to, the 1%, by the way, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Nobody gives you nothing. Crazy. You idiots that want socialism, or you think the government should be paying. You don't get something for nothing. It's just, that's not happening. No, it's impossible. Somebody's got to pay for that.
Yep, exactly. I would not wait on that line. Paid me $1 million. I mean,
no, never.
Line goes around the block. It was like people. There were people there 6 in the morning waiting. And didn't get served till whatever, I think 8 at night. So that's what you have to do every day for food. Fuck that.
They're Rosh girls too. They're like low lifes and shit like that. It's fucking.
That would never work.
No way, bro. That's food pantry. That's all it is. Go to a food pantry, you get the same shit. You know what I mean? What like Dinty more meat or some shit like that. Fucking they give out a pasta, dude. You can't afford a fucking box of pasta. It's a lot of places sell for $1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Forget about it. Commit, carry.
William Allen said, I believe it's an ex-co-worker of Savannah that took her.
Listen, William, I understand it could be, but the thing is, it's somebody who knew the old lady, that knew what was going on, knew the layout of the house. How did he get her out of there? Somebody had to help him. What are you gonna do? Lift a fucking sack of fucking, she wasn't like a skinny little twig, she wasn't big, but she had to weigh probably 150 pounds or more. What are you gonna do? You know what that dead weight is? You know what I'm saying? Or did she walk out on her own?
Mm-hmm.
And where to? Where did they walk down the street? Oh, Nancy, that's the Big Dipper over there. I just saw a shooting star. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Holly said, I agree with Greg. Something definitely doesn't smell right with that situation.
That's right. You tell him, Holly.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Holly said the old lady's probably already dead. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but eventually that's how it works out. And I agree. I agree with Holly. I think she's.
Listen, I don't want her to be dead, but
No, but I think that's what it is.
Listen, I don't know what the fucking deal was. I think that's what they. If it's somebody in the family, grandkids, somebody like that was in on it, had their Spanish friend do all this shit, because the guy looks Spanish in the thing, and they think, but whatever. Okay, if she was really alive, right, there'd be one of her doing one of those Taliban fucking where she's holding up a sign, with the date on it. Hi, it's me. I want to tell my family I'm still alive. Okay, there's proof of life. By telling them there's a coffee can, it's half full with tea. It's on the top shelf in the kitchen. Oh, how would she know that? How would that person know that if Nancy didn't tell him?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you fucking stupid? There's people at work in the house. They know every inch of that house. And how did she get out of there? How did somebody nobody committed a burglary. Get the fuck out of here. What was burglarized? What'd they take? What was burglarized? What did he put it in? That fucking sack in the back of his bed that had nothing in it, but probably fucking handcuffs and other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It could be. I think it's somebody that knew the layout, or somebody that knew the layout and got somebody to do it. I think it's one of those deals. And if she was, proof of life is nobody has sent one fucking video, one proof that she's alive. Not her voice, not a picture of her fucking tied up in a cellar, or her sitting at a table, like I said, reading something. I want you all to know that I'm okay. I love my family. Please give me back. That kind of shit. None of it. Because she's fucking, the reason why is she's, I think, and I hope not, because I don't like that. You know what I mean? And I hope whoever, whoever did it gets what happened to them. But if they're, if they're here illegally, they might just be sent back to their country, go like this and no bail, free bail. But because that's what happens over here, especially if he runs to New York. Go on.
The Swede 5402 says Joe Matarazzo told Joe Balls to tell Greg that Bacha Galoop wants a Delft video. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Swede.
John Mancini said it's probably definitely someone close. Yes. It's got to be 100%. Holly said Greg is worried about that swimming pool. LOL.
Well, I'm just saying, Holly, think about it. If your grandmother fucking, she's almost 90 years old, she has all these issues. She can't walk well. The lady can't walk. What is she doing with a fucking swimming pool? Living in the middle of the desert, where the neighbors are far away, right? In the desert, living in a house that's fucking huge. You know what I mean? It looked like the house, like, hello, Sydney. You know what I mean? Like that fucking, what is that movie?
Scream.
Yeah, Scream. Mm-hmm. What is she doing with a swimming pool? Is that for her pool party? You're gonna have that all year round. Somebody's got to be taking care of that water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, 100%. Hey, by the way, so one of my friend in Florida told me that it's with the weather being so bad, these iguanas are falling from the trees all the time. You see how he said there's a bunch of people like taking them up and they're eating them.
I know, that's disgusting.
That's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry, I can't be no iguana, but he told me he's like, you see people on the street, the homeless are like eating them like they're. I'm like, really? I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, they're eating them.
Isn't it funny when you see these fucking drug addicts on the street, right? And there's a girl on YouTube that interviews them. A lot of chicks, some of them are hot, because they're out in LA. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, my habit is like, I do like, it's like almost like $500 a day, $1,000. Wait, where are you getting $500 a day to fucking, and you can't fucking get a roof over your head and shit? That's more important to, you know what I mean? I know what they're doing, they're fucking, but still.
Yep. Ruben Sanchez said it's probably the Jose the yard guy. Probably.
It could be. It better not be Ruben the pole boy.
Yeah.
No, seriously, Ruben, it could be. It's. I think it's somebody has something to do with that property. Whether it's a family member who got somebody to do it, you know what I'm saying? They're in on it because, like, if the old lady just never found, get rid of her. and eventually it's going to be, just they're going to once it's declared bye.
Can you imagine
get your ransom, your money?
Can you imagine if they try to kidnap your mother-in-law?
They'd bring her back in 2 seconds. She kidnapped them. She kidnapped them.
They're gonna pay you.
She kidnapped them. Oh my God.
Oh God, man. Dragging around the house would be impossible.
The guy that got her could fucking sit on her back and ride her out of the house like a donkey. She'd be giving him a piggyback. It just no, we got. She's a very nice guy.
Holly said, has anybody asked for a ransom in this case?
No, there's been fake ransom bullshit. Why would you go to TMZ? Well, why don't you usually when a guy wants a ransom, you go to the family. They're the ones with the money, right? But they keep going to TMZ. They don't even go to the cops, because they're afraid of the law enforcement. Usually people go to TMZ. This is like a fucking total fuck up. This whole thing is,
yeah,
not good.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy. Rick Simon, if someone knows and comes up and takes the millions, they would be arrested for accessory.
No.
Well, they could be.
No, Rick, listen to me. If the whole idea is if you're part of it, they'll if you were in on it and shit like that, but you want to turn on your guy, you know what I'm saying? You got to make a deal. You make a deal with them. You might do a couple of years in jail, but when you come out, you're going to have, a lot of scuttle. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, money talks. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked to all of a sudden somebody who knows something, that was my ex-boyfriend. I know he was bragging to me the other night, blah, blah, blah. Come get that money. You're not going to be accessory. You're only accessory if you're part of it. You know what I mean?
John Klein, what's up, John? Said, what's up, guys? Blue shirts looking good, boys. What's up, man? What's up, John?
1970s. See?
Yes.
1970s.
Did you see, by the way, Larry Wheels smacked that boxer?
Yeah, I did.
Rampage. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. Now you also saw the other big UFC guy punch him. He hit him with a good shot, though. That was a good shot.
Do you think that was like sort of a setup or kind of, like they say in wrestling, a work? Do you think that was kind of
could have been with the Larry Wheels one? The Larry Wheels one, I think so. But the way that other guy and the way he hit him, he hit him perfect shot, and then the elbow followed through.
He hit him perfect. He's right through, went down. But the other one was a smack, and it looked like it was kind of set up. He was
birds of a feather flock together. Rampage. Dude. You're in movies, you're making all this scuttle, and you're hanging out with thugs and ghetto fucking. You know what I mean? That guy ain't no great boxer. I don't even. It's hard for me to take a guy serious when he's got that big man bone and shit like that, and it's
Yeah. And then our boy Johnny Bravo released a huge.
John Bravo's amazing. Listen, I said it yesterday on the other Joe show. I'm going to say it on this one. If your mother caught you jerking off when you were like 8 years old, somehow or other, John Bravo's going to find out about that. And maybe even a video, even though there was no video when you were 8 years old. He just fucking finds out the dirt on people. I don't know how he does it, but he would be a great lawyer. You know what I mean? Because he digs out dirt. I don't know how he gets the dirt, but he knows. He reads all those transcripts. He read, like if a guy goes to court, he gets the court papers and he reads the fucking stenographer. He reads all shit. I love Johnny. Johnny's my boy. I'm friends with Johnny outside this bodybuilding. I don't give two shits about that, but
yeah, Johnny, he's good. Yeah, he actually brought up some stuff about Larry Wheels. Obviously, saying he lets.
Well, that shit I was reading about Larry Wheels. Like I wasn't reading. He was reading it to you. About saying he's I think he's sucking dicks and doing all kinds of great. I don't know. I don't know what the hell that shit was about.
Guy, banging his wife with
dudes, and he fucked you hard. Oh yeah, that's great. What?
Who knows?
You know what I mean?
I don't know, Larry.
Listen, everybody's got a kink. All I can tell you is if you do that shit, it's not gonna. You're eventually you're gonna be doomed. You're opening up a can of worms with your chick that you're not gonna be able to close one day.
Holly said, "You guys make my night. I swear, you really do. I sit on my porch and just laugh."
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Greg Hoffman said Peter Paul took that old lady. Can you imagine that?
Peter Paul took that.
Singing to her.
Oh my God, he's singing to her. Used to have a rag guitar, bring. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, the old lady would be like, help me, he's killing me. You know what I mean? Here's another song I wrote with my brother. The grass is greener on the prairie. What? I mean, I was watching him sing shit like that, and I'm like, no, stop, that's not real. Like,
That's not
like that. Like I just sang, you know, like acoustic music, but the no shoes on, you know, sitting out there eating a blade of grass, you know, like what the fuck? What is this, 1960s and shit, you know?
Yeah. Knight Rider says, why are my messages getting deleted? I don't know, Knight Rider. This is the first time.
No, Knight Rider. I don't know anything about
I don't know. I didn't. First time I saw your message actually just pop up.
Knight Rider, I gotta say something. You didn't text me. I told you text me, message me. I looked, I didn't see, but if it messaged me, I'll send you those videos because I know right now Trump and Obama with that whole like, oh, we're coming out with aliens, you know, they're not saying anything, and I'm just telling you, I can show you what the master scientists are saying, the ones who run the Hubble telescope, the real scientists, the ones who map all the stars in the sky, the real ones, okay? And I'm going to tell you what they say. Brian Cox is a guy who does documentaries and all that stuff. He's very famous. I forgot the other guy's name, but these guys are the guys, and they explain to you how it's impossible. It's never happened, and it can never happen. Okay,
what were you saying? It can't never happen. What do you mean?
About that aliens coming here?
Okay,
about, like
can't,
the green men, you know, because Obama said, you know, I think they're all, but I don't, you know, but you never saw proof, and you have no idea, you know. But and I know that Trump has talked about it, and they said that Trump wants to come out with something, but show me. You understand? You can't show me some dot flying across, like, you know, it's about 10,000 miles away, but you can see this dot. Look, see how fast, like, you know, I can show you what it, look, I would love it if it was true, but it's not. And I can tell you, I'm not the most fucking smartest guy on the planet. I know you don't believe that, but I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. Okay. But I watch these things. Okay. And Joe Rogan had Brian Cox on and he's saying, yeah, you know, I'm not saying that there's not, on some planet far away, I'm not saying that there's not life. There more than likely there is, but it's never going to get here, and we're never going to get there, and we can't get a hold of each other. It's impossible mathematically. It's impossible, and there's, you know, and then you get people. What about wormholes? What about black holes? What about all that stuff? You know, bending space, and it can't happen. It explains to you why it can't happen. You know, first of all, you cannot travel. There's nothing that can power you to go the speed of light. Okay, that's impossible. But even if you did, Brian Cox even said a piece of dark matter, which you can't even see, it's invisible to the human eye, would be so big it would be the size of like Mount Everest by the time it because it gains size. There's a whole science math shit behind it. Okay, but if something is the closest thing is like 2 million like life stories light years away. That means if you travel at the speed of like 2 million years from now, you will get to that planet. More than likely, we'll all be dead, and so will that planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
You know what, Joe? I'll send you I'm going to send you some two videos.
I kind of believe in aliens. I don't know if they're going to be here.
I know. Listen, I bought into all that shit a little bit too. Like, you know, maybe we're like, you know,
I've seen your mother-in-law. So
no, that's that, dude. Let me say that might be why they're not coming here.
Really? That's why they're not coming.
She's a nice guy. They send a picture of her out there. They're like, there's the fucking Yetis on that planet.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll see her and they'll say, holy shit, I just went to Earth and I checked it out. And you're still cavemen. Get it, man?
Still walking around.
She's hairy and shit, men.
Oh my God. Holly said, Steve Z, maybe she took off with Peter Paul. She might have looked him up on Instagram after Dave's show. Yeah, maybe.
Steve Z will shoot him right back out into space. Anyway.
The T Paul said, Greg, I agree. I know some trannies who would blow your mind.
Yep, amongst other things.
They blow a lot more than just your mind.
Yeah, these guys don't understand that shit exists, because we were having a big conversation, obviously, on RX and then yesterday on Joe's show. And, you know, obviously, there's only two genders, there's male and female, but there's transgenders that are transgender girls. Okay. And let me explain something to you. The ones that I'm talking about that I've had, you know, contact with, that I know, okay, I'm friends with, you know, one in particular, you would never know. You would never know. They're better looking, these guys on the fucking comment section who talk shit, they're better looking than their girls. Trust me. I try. They give Sydney Sweeney a fucking run. Now, That's rare, though. It's rare. What you see today coming out, I am transgender, I'm a woman. You know, that's not a transgender. Bruce Jenner, you know, whatever, Caitlyn Jenner is not a trend. That's not. You don't fucking live to be 70 years old and then decide I'm a woman. And that's not how that works. Do you understand? And they don't all walk around with their penises and shit. That's porn. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying these guys don't know what they're talking about. The one that King Kamali tried to hook me up with in fucking Sound Factory. I've told you about her, Joe. She's fucking hot. She was Asian and white. And I tell you right now, none of you guys, there's some of them strip. They get their usually got cut off and they strip at Scores. There's girls that you go ask guys who work at Scores or whatever, they'll say,
you didn't hook up with that girl, right?
No, I tried. She like Kamali better than she liked me. Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine? Wow.
What a loser. I couldn't even pick up a tranny. But I'm just
oh God, Greg. Couldn't even pick up a tranny.
Fuck, man. She like Kamali. She didn't like me. Kamali was trying like this.
Okay. Wow.
You know?
All right.
And she didn't want to talk to me. She talked to me. I mean, she talked to me, but she liked him better.
Okay. Science 70s. What's up, my Italian brothers? What's going on, Science 70s?
What's going on, my brother?
Holly says Dave had on my buddy Tony Huge on there.
That's my boy. Tony Huge is a fucking great guy. Do you know that every time I was in a hospital, Joe, Tony Huge would send me hot like stuff like supplements and all kinds. And I don't make drugs. Yeah, he sent me a ton of shit. He always asked about me. Always fucking calls Lucia, texts with him and Lucia.
He's a nice guy.
He's a fucking great guy. He's a great guy.
I don't know how he juggles those women though. I can't.
Dude, you gotta be out of your mind. I know some guys like that. You know what I mean? There's guys that like that too. You know, and I couldn't do. I can barely deal with one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
One's enough, right? You know,
beware of what you wish for.
Exactly, you know, but yeah, he's a nice guy. He goes, yes, Tony's a nice man. The chat though is being very harsh on him.
Because they're all, listen, can I tell you something? John Mancini, listen, you should know, John, because you've been attacked a lot in these fucking forums. Yeah, none of these guys have profiles. First of all, some of these guys, it's the same guy just switching back and forth to different profiles like this, right? And they just talk shit. You know why they don't have profiles? Because they're cowards. When you talk to me, you're talking to Gregg Valentino. We talk to Joe, but Joe's that way. Wait, Joe's that way on the because I'm looking. Joe Zapata. He's Joe Zapata. That's his name. You understand? That's Joe Zapata. That's his name. Okay. So when you're talking to us or we talk to you, you know who you're talking to. I don't know who I'm talking to when it's Venom 123 or Joe Matarazzo, whatever. You know. And they're cowards. They say shit to you. They'll fucking say shit about you because they're not. Nobody knows who they are. I could throw them under the bus 2 seconds, you know.
And some of them are nice people. Some of them are really nice.
Some of them are good guys. I'm not, you know, but for the most part, if you use another name or you just fucking, you know, you don't even have a profile. You're just like somebody else's picture and shit like that. You're a coward. That's the way, you know, I don't take that shit serious. So, you know, John, so that's what I'm saying. They can attack Tony Huge. I know Tony Huge personally. I'm friends with Tony Huge. I know him personally. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, he's a fucking great guy.
Yeah. Holly said, I love Tony. He's a very nice guy. Yeah,
great guy.
Great guy.
Tell you what, I think he's one of the best guys in this whole industry. That's how good he is. You know what I mean? There's guys you guys fucking idolize. Oh my God. And if you met them in person, you'd be like, what? They're pieces of shit.
Yeah. Just like in acting and just like in wrestling world, there are people that people look up to and idolize that they're pieces of crap.
Yep.
You know, that they just don't give a shit.
Some guys. There's some great guys in this industry, but there's a lot of them who the fucking ego. They don't realize, so you got big arm, you're a big guy. That means nothing. Throw them on a desert island and it'd be Pee Wee Herman. You know what I mean? Where they can't take the Babanya and they, you know, that's their whole fucking thing. And there's more to life than bodybuilding. I'm just going to let you guys know that.
Yeah. Tony Huge, you know, but he's a nice guy. He's really nice.
Tony Huge is a great guy. Let me tell you something. He doesn't put people down. He doesn't like, you know, he's a good man. I like it. Me and him have great relationship. And I can't stand Dave when he says that when Leo Rex was killed, you know, there was a bathroom window. I think it was like this big. It was like a foot or so by like, you know, 10 inches or something. You know, when I'm trying windows like that. And he's trying to say like, well, I remember when it first happened, Dave said that Tony must have got one of them lady boys because they're skinny and small, and you know he got one of them to climb through that window, kill Leo, and then climb back out that window because Leo was leaning up against the door. So you can't open the door to get in because the body's leaning. So how did he pull that off? It's not. Listen,
I don't know.
I agree with Tony. Exactly what he said is what I've been saying all along.
Did he talk about that on the show?
Yeah, he said what he thinks. He said what he believes, and I said this. I told him, Tony, I've been saying the same thing. I've been saying all along. The guy, I love Leo's a great guy. Got along really well with him. Okay, he was really pissed at John Romano. So I was 2 weeks before he died. I was like calming him down because John's my friend, and I was calming Leo down. But he's Jekyll and Hyde. 1 minute he's like, I'll fucking kill him. I'll fucking kill him. Greg, you're right. You're right. I should just, I don't even worry about it like this. And if I'll fucking kill him, I'll fucking get, like, holy Jekyll and Hyde. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, I said the same thing Tony is. I think he fucking was on a drug trip. He was a drug addict. He used a lot of drugs. I think he was hallucinating. Okay. And I think he saw either a demon come up out of the toilet or a fucking hand come up and grab his gagoots, whatever. And he fucking panicked and like, oh, fucking, or tried to go down after the demon, took the toilet off the hinge, slipped and broke his fucking head. And if you're already on a drug spin and you got a fucking heart fucking issue there and you fucking fall and you crack your skull.
Yeah.
Adios.
But Leo Rex, what I can say about him is he was a very smart guy. Very intelligent.
Leo Rex was one of the smartest guys I ever talked to. Let me tell you something.
Very intelligent. Knows his stuff.
Up there too, but Leo Rex was a fucking genius. He was a fucking genius. I'm going to tell you that for a fact.
Yeah, he used to read like books and, all the medical books and get everything on vitamins. He was very smart. He knew what he was talking about with that stuff, so I give him that.
Steve Z. Look, the Diet Root Beer. Steve, you went this time. You fucking brought up all those Diet goddamn.
Knight Rider says, Greg, I sent you evidence.
Where? Knight Rider, where? Where did you send it? I told you to hit me on Instagram. My Instagram's Gregg _ Valentino, something. I don't know. Gregg Valentino. Find me on Instagram. Did you send it to the right one? Just make sure it's the right one.
Not right. So I've seen one with my own eyes.
But listen. You saw an actual green man or whatever what you're on. Look. I seen things with my own eyes too. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, the science part of it. Look, I want Knight Rider. I want there to be. I would love that fucking. You know what I mean? But I don't want him to come down with a cookbook like in fucking we're the fucking food like in Twilight Zone. But the thing is, I would love it if it was true, but I don't believe it's true because of the whole science part of it. How did they get here? It's impossible for them to get here, just like it's impossible for us to get them. There's nowhere close. Do you understand? At the speed of light, you couldn't even travel the speed of light. There's no such thing, and you wouldn't survive. You would die. You'd burn up and you would explode. You expand till you like that. Do you know that if you went on Joe, did you know that if you right now went to the planet Mars, I can't remember if you shrink or you would actually get bigger. I'm not sure. I forget. It actually like that. It's a weird thing. Like one of the guys from the space station came home. He was an inch taller. I got to find out where that is because I would take a fly up there, come back down an inch taller.
Reps and Rumors. What's going on, Reps and Rumors? I know who that is. What's up, guys? Greg, I think I'm on with Joe tomorrow on IG. You know
Joe.
Reps and Rumors.
Oh, Joe Pietaro. I thought he meant you, Joe.
No,
yes.
Yes, you were. I think you were on his show and everything. He actually, I think, posted on Instagram about Hottie Chopin got maybe dismissed from his.
Is that Matt? That's not Matt. Is it Matt?
I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't know who you're talking about yet. Let's see. So next one says Rivera family. Joe, Greg, it's always great to see you, good brothers. This definitely helps when I'm feeling down. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We appreciate that. We hope you're feeling well.
Don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself up over things you cannot control because the situation remains the same, and all you did was beat your head and get a sore head. So just try to ride the wave sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tomorrow's another day. Right.
Don't swim against a riptide, or that's how you drown. Go with it.
Rivera, I agree. And they got some very nice people in the comments as well, which most pop camps do not. That's correct. We have a lot of great people in the chat that keep.
Yeah, we do. I love all these guys. I love you guys. You know what I mean? Just that when you attack each other, I don't like that. Don't attack each other.
They're all great. What we got here? John Mancini said Tony is very down to earth. Yes,
very down. Yep, he's a great man.
Greg Factor says, I'm as real as the Sound Factory days. Yep, the Sound Factory days. Those are some great times.
Yes, Greg. I love the Sound Factory days. Those were the days.
Holly Victor says, yes, Tony is very down to earth and he's taking time to help me a lot. I don't see how he juggles all them women either. LOL. I don't know how he does it, Greg.
This, you know, Holly, there's just some guys, you know, who can do that. You know what I mean? It's hard, you know. I mean, God bless him. He also has the Shkarol, and he's out there in Thailand, and those girls have a different thought than American girls, you know what I mean? Because they be stabbing him in his sleep, American chicks. But the Thailand girl, he said once in a while they act up.
They fight,
and they fight each other, and he has to stop that. But they also know this guy's giving them a life that they wouldn't have never had. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he has that type of personality that can kind of run with those, you know, like if one woman fight, he has that type of personality that can mix very well with that, you know, the group. You know, he doesn't get jealous. He doesn't, you know, he's like, hey, we're all together, we're a family, we're a group, you know.
There's people, listen, if you can handle it, God bless you.
Yeah, I don't think I could handle that. So
no, me neither. I don't think Morello would let you handle it.
No, it's not. John Mancini says Stop and Shop has a great prices on Polar water. I always go and deal buy two, get two free in cans.
I get the Polar spring water right here.
The seltzer right there.
Yeah, I go shop.
Did you always drink that seltzer? Did you always drink that, Greg? Was that always your favorite?
No, you know what's funny? I didn't. I like the bubbles, but my son always drank seltzer water because his babysitter was my sister-in-law.
I drink seltzer water too.
Oh, do you? Yeah, but I don't like it flavored. I like it plain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like fruity shit. Like, oh, you know, cherry apple shit like that. I don't like that kind of stuff. Like fruit punch. I don't. And only those citrus things are mango and all that shit. My girlfriend likes all that. See, I don't like that. You know, I'm root beer or the birch beer, which I have over there, and it's not. It tastes like cream soda. You know what I'm saying? It's clear.
Yep. Holly said Tony only tried to help Leo, but some people you just can't. That's true.
You're 100% right. Because when Leo had problems, Tony took him in. It was Tony who took in Leo. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he did Leo a big favor.
100%. John Mancini said space and the ocean still need a lot of discovery. Sure. Yeah, especially the ocean. They said the ocean too. We like a lot of it's undiscovered. The ocean.
Listen, if Knight Rider's still here, listen, Knight Rider. I heard a story where, you know, where it's supposed to be in his writings that Christopher Columbus was out there in the middle of the ocean one time, standing on deck. It was like midnight or so. He couldn't sleep. And he said all of a sudden the ocean lit up and he saw what looked like a light come blasting out of the ocean. And now I don't know what that is. I can't tell you that, you know, is that an extraterrestrial? I don't know. It could. The one thing I do know is that they say that their time travel is possible, but only in the future, not in the past. And that's the one thing that they did say that can happen. And a lot of that has to do with if you go into space, time on Earth goes faster than when you're out there. If you come back, you're actually still the same age, but everybody else is older. Just like that was like in that movie with Matthew McConaughey. I forgot the name of it, but Interstellar or whatever, where he left. His little girl was like 9 years old. He left. He came back. She was an old lady dying in bed, like 99 years old. And he was still the same.
Knight Rider's here, and he just said,
"Oh, he is here. Okay."
I saw two large metallic triangles in the sky. They were floating stationary. They were at plane height. One disappeared. The other shot off with incredible speed around 4,000 kilometers an hour. You know?
Listen, I get it, Knight Rider. I'm not calling you a liar, and I'm not telling you you did not see that. But of what I saw, I will send you these documentaries, and they'll tell you that's military because military flies triangles. I don't know. But I'm just telling you the science of why somebody can't come here. The science of why is they're saying that planet that's fucking thousands of light years away may not even exist anymore. It takes thousands of light years for that light to, like, for instance, if somebody this very minute was on a planet that's a million years away, a million light years away. There are a million light years now. That means if you traveled at a speed of light for a million years, it would take you to reach that planet. We're seeing that light right now. So if we look at that light right now, that light, or let me use vice versa. You're standing on their planet and you're looking at Earth. You know what you would see? Dinosaurs. Do you know why? Because the light that bounced off Earth back 100 million years ago is just reaching that planet that's 100 million. So, do you understand that? It takes light. So the light they're seeing, there's planets, there's stars out there, and possibly planets that don't even exist anymore. But you can still see their light because it's a delayed thing. It's almost like if you shoot it, if you're on one side of a cannon and you shoot off a cannon like this, right? you're on the other side. There's like a 5-second delay until you hear the boom, like the explosion of the cannon shot. Well, it's almost something similar like that. It took you 5 seconds to hear that the actual noise of that cannon. Does that make sense? It's almost the same thing with light. It takes light, whatever. If it's a million light years away, it's going to take light a million years to reach there.
Now, you don't believe in aliens, but what about ghosts?
I'd like to believe that shit's real. I told you, you know my ghost stories. Whether it's true or not, I don't know if that's legit. I still can't even tell you if they were ghosts. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd like to believe that because, you know, as you know, I'm you know, Christian. I wear rosary beads and stuff, and I'm very spiritual. You know, I pray and all. And I would like to know that this isn't it. This is cruel. Life is cruel if there's no hereafter. Because I know I love my mother. My mother's been dead forever. You know, my father's dead. My sister's dead. You know what I mean? My sister died a couple of years ago. I want to know that I can see them again. I don't want to know that, like, well, you'll never see them again. So, you know, you learn to love. You get all this love. You get all this like knowledge and shit. Too bad you weren't born with the knowledge you get when you die. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you know, if this is it, then I feel like it's cruel. Because you love somebody. You want to, you know, the whole idea is like, you know, see you again in the next life or the afterlife, you know? Now, I don't know I don't believe it's up in the clouds. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When my grandmother passed away, she died in our house, and she died at 5:20 in the morning. And so then we had to clean up, obviously, her room and everything. And she had this old, like, clock or something, and I picked it up, and it wasn't working. So it was like, whatever. So it wasn't working. We threw it in a box, and we had all her stuff outside of my room. So I went to sleep, and I hear this noise, wakes me up. In the morning, I get up and I'm looking. It's an alarm going off, and it was her clock. And when I picked up the clock from the box, it was 5:20.
Yeah, see,
and it's like, wow, it was 5:20 in the morning? Because I was like, what is this? So is that a coincidence? I don't know, but I believe there's something.
I mean, it could be. You know, I've had my own little instances, but it's not like I saw a ghost stand right in front of me, go, Gregg. You know, I know there's people. I swear, I saw my uncle Tanus. He was running around. You know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'd like to believe. I would like. I want that. I care more about that than I do about aliens. But I'd like to believe that. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to. You know, I'd like to believe that. You know, there's a hereafter, and that, you know, my mother's not just something. Where did her personality go? You know what I'm saying? My mother's very charismatic. You know, and where would that personality go? That's, you know, does it just disappear? I know they say energy. It never dies. The energy just leaves and it goes out. But I don't want no fucking energy. I want to know it's my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Knight Rider says military can't make something just disappear like that. The one I saw.
Listen,
4,000 an hour.
I get it, Knight Rider. I'm not telling you that you didn't see anything. I'm not here to I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just telling you that there's no wormholes that you can go through that would not destroy you, or black holes. So black holes, a planet that imploded like that, and there's more to it. So what I'm saying is, there's nothing close to us. Okay, no, we know that nothing close to us. If it has to be something from a further away, you know, from another galaxy, and then the closest galaxy is millions of light years away. I'm just saying to you, if you watch the scientists, the guys who actually look for this shit, they will blow your whole thing out of water. They will tell you why you saw what you saw. So it's not me. So don't attack the messenger. But I'm just telling you, if you get a hold of me, Knight Rider, I don't care what your name is. I'm not going to throw it out there if you tell me. You know what I mean? Like, to get a hold of me on Instagram, request a message. I'll even friend you, but I don't know who you are. You understand? Request or follow me, and then or you don't have to follow me. Just request. I'll look at the request, see if I have a message from somebody. But you have to write Knight Rider first. Then I'll know it's you, and I will send you some stuff. And I'm actually interested, Knight Rider, and to think what you have to say about that, because I like the fact that you think that. I don't want some guy that just takes. It's not my word. I was pretty shocked hearing it, because I believed that there were extraterrestrials.
Ruben Sanchez says, my house is haunted, especially on the second floor. See?
I believe it, you know, but until I see, you know, like that shit, I don't know, you know?
Yeah. Holly said, don't know if you're joking serious, but I'm fascinated with haunted stuff.
Listen, Holly, you guys, I'm going to tell you a quick ghost story real fast by Jerry Ward. Jerry Ward was telling me, he goes, Gregg, this is the craziest story. He goes, I have a friend. Did I tell you a story already, Joe? I think I did. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think
he said, I went over my friend had this house. He lived in a haunted house, right? And he said he had a table, like in the living room. And he said, on the table, you have wood grain. It was just like it was clear. You know, you could see the grain of the wood. And he said, the wood, you'd walk out of the room, you come back, and the wood grain's totally different. If there was like a knot in the wood, now it's over here, and it moves that this way, moves to the middle of the table like that. You don't see it move, but when you come back, it's, wait, this table, that knot that was right here. How the fuck did it get over there? It's not like somebody turned the table. It moved to a different section too. So he said one day, the owner of the house and him and a couple of their friends had a seance, not a seance, the Ouija board shit.
Ouija board, okay.
I told you this, right, Joe?
Yeah.
This is Jerry Ward, God rest his soul, is one of my close friends, all right? And he didn't bullshit. He never bullshit. He was very serious about this. And he goes, Greg, we're doing a Ouija board and we're asking, is anybody here, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, next thing you know, all the lights in the house just died. And he said there was this giant shadow standing above my friend. And the Ouija board moved on its own, and it just said die. Or I don't remember if it said death or die, but it said like die. Okay. And he said we all were like, holy fucking, and, you know, my friend got up and he flicked the lights, and eventually the lights went back on. But we all saw this giant shadow. It looked like the shadow of a man, but like a demon. It's just a shadow. He said 2 days later, that friend and another friend, there were like just a couple people at this table. That friend and another friend went to that concert. I don't know if it was White Lion, White Snake, and they were sitting in the front, and they were killed by the pyrotechnique. They burned to death. Remember when the pyrotechnique up? Okay. It was a very, very famous story of pyrotechnics. I think it was up in because he lived, you know, he's from up north, so it was up around the Boston area, wherever, like Maine or whatever the fuck. They were playing a concert up there. I don't know if it was White Snake or White Lion. You can Google this. You guys can Google this. And he said a couple stagehands died, and 2 or 3 of the people in the crowd died because the pyrotechnics exploded and they went on fire. Wow. And his friends were 2 of his friends that were at that table died. Son of a bitch. Another person died at a different time that was at that table, and Jerry's dead. Wow. So, is that I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I can't prove that. I mean, we don't know if it's a coincidence. I can't prove any of that shit. But I'm just saying, I've had little things like that. You guys know my ghost story. It's you know, but nobody ever appeared to me like, Greg, you're fucking MOMO. You know, like I don't know. You know what I mean? But I can tell you that I've had friends with same experiences. You know, so and Jerry's death was very odd. I mean, he was such a good guy, and he was a great guy. I've talked to Jerry a couple of times, and he was a great guy. I mean, he had obviously his drug problems in the past, which is he was open about, you know, with Nubane or whatever, the painkillers. But, you know, he beat that. And, you know, I was surprised that he was going to. He was very careful. He was very careful. The thing is his wife, who still talks to my girlfriend, Lucia, all the time. I mean, they talk every 2-3 days. They talk. Aaron. And his wife, and we're all shocked because Jerry was basically having a heart attack. And he thought it was like a fucking pulled muscle in his chest. Yeah. Better. He knew, because even Erin, his wife, was saying, you know, God, if Jerry was home, we would have got him to the hospital and he would have probably survived it. But he didn't. He stayed in the hotel room with that pain, and it lasted for 2 days or so. And he even got a massage in there, thinking it's a muscle. You know what I mean? He was smarter than that, you know. But I love Jerry Ward, and I actually when I pray, I actually include him and Erin in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? When I pray, you know. And I'm big with that stuff, so don't say anything stupid, you guys. But I'm just saying. Today was, you know, yesterday. No. You know what it is? I don't. I is the team I was born into. You know what I mean? But a lot of, you know, I'm not really. I have my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Because of my own spiritual. Yes, I'm Catholic, but I don't like all those. You know, I feel like the most evil place on the planet is probably the fucking Vatican. But I don't even want to get into that. Yeah, these popes are no good. You know, popes used to put people to death back in it, like, you know, in like you know, the 10th century and shit like that. You know, if they said witch, you know, die, you know, they put them to death. You know, they were not such good people. Yeah. All right, Greg, I got to wrap up. I got a couple things I got to do. It's already an hour. Jesus, yeah, it goes by quick, man. Wow, it does. It goes by quick. We have a good time, and of course, everyone in the chat is awesome. Be more. I'm getting into this. Holly Rubin, thank you. John Manning, thank you guys. Thank you, John Klein. Knight Rider, of course. Send that stuff to Greg. Knight Rider, just don't be afraid. I'm not going to do it. Knight Rider, I will not. I'm not going to. Make up a fake profile if you have to, but just write Knight Rider. Get hold of me. I'll just send you. I want to hear what you think about it. I'm actually interested. I'm not saying that you're lying, Knight Rider. I mean, maybe it did see those things. I believe it did, but I don't know what the hell they are. Yeah, maybe if they are aliens, maybe they are. But I'm telling you, according to these scientists, they're saying it can never happen. But I would love to hear your opinion. So send me your shit.
Maybe next week we'll talk more aliens and some UFOs and ghosts.
Joe, I'll send it to Joe. I'll send it to you. I don't know if you're, Joe, if you're interested in that, I guarantee if you watch these things, you'll be like, Gregg's right. I mean, it's not that I'm right, but they're right. They made me believe this shit. You know what I mean? And you got when you see who they are, they're not some guy like, I'm a UFO hunter. No, those are fucking momos. I'm talking about these are the guys that are the big scientists that do all this. They're the ones who map. Okay, they know all the different stars. They're the ones who map it, run the Hubble telescope. They're the ones saying it.
All right, guys. Thank you again. We will see you next week. Love you guys, Gregg. I'll talk to you.
Yes, guys. Any one of you guys can hit me up on Instagram if I'm not your friend. Just do the request the message thing, and I'll look for it. But write it. You're from the Joe Zapata show or something like that. So otherwise I might pass by. Okay.
You got it.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Body builder Cody. Gears on the course.